I wanted to do a title like Peter Nagasaki Kick Drops Donny or Peter Karate Chops Donny Cates, but I'm not sure if people would get the joke or not. People are so sensitive. So Comicsgate was on the right track, and I know that a lot of you have legitimate criticism for some people in Comicsgate, no names, EVS, but the idea of Comicsgate as SJW free comics is still a good one. The SJWs in mainstream comics are blaming the not Japan thing for comics failing, but as Cecil points out, the Wu flu is the straw that broke the camel's back, and he's probably right, and he has been on fire lately. If mainstream SJW comics were in high demand, people would find a way to get them. They might say print them and store them until the vaccine, then ship them. We will work out a deal to read digital comics for the next 2 years or so. Just spitballing here, but print and store the comics until the vaccine, pay the local comic book stores a bigger cut right now, give the buyer a digital code so they can read them as they come out. LCSs have to stay in business or comics are screwed. If Marvel thinks they're just going to move to a digital model, I think they're in for a wake-up call. I am hearing the idea of $3 digital Marvel comics. Are you freaking kidding me? Dear Marvel, what is the color of the sky in your world? Nobody gives a rat's ass about PDFs. If you had a monthly deal with Marvel and DC for $10, maybe you'd get some traction. But you know what doesn't work? Insulting the customers, especially in a pandemic that is shutting down printers and shops. Imagine being a 60-year-old adult telling your customers to eat a bag of pre-effed Ds, which now that I think about it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because essentially telling someone to eat a bag of Ds is telling someone to perform oral on you, and usually the goal of that is to completion. But if you're telling someone to perform oral on someone who's already reached completion, it seems kind of pointless. Oh no, baby, what is you doing? They never should have given you ninjas the internet. I'm not sure if Comicsgate is at the point of having the last laugh. I think in a few months it will set in for them that comics have changed forever. The ones who have IP money coming in, now that I think about this, if you've got IP money coming in, that IP money is only going to come in until the company exhausts its funds, and Disney might be in trouble. But I'm sure there'll be a bailout for them from, or buyout from Apple, or a bailout from somebody. But the people who do have that IP money coming in, they don't really care about losing the income from the monthlies, because it wasn't that much to start with, at least not in comparison if you're getting movie money coming in or IP money from a long time ago. The lower level people, Mags, is going to miss that money. At least she, he, them, their. They have Vagrant Queen, which is on Sci-Fi money, so they got that money coming in. It's tomorrow on Sci-Fi, so if anyone has a sign-in and password for me, drop me an email so I can watch it. But I do think the Comicsgate model is in a much stronger position relative to what it was a month ago. Comicsgate will probably dip a little, but the mainstream SJW comics are going to dip a lot. Oh, but my digital sales. Well, I guess we'll find out if they exist or not. If digital is really doing so well, then you guys have nothing to worry about. People are always going to buy comics, but Marvel and DC no longer are able to get them to the buyer, at least for now. And, these things are very, very time dependent. Comicsgate can still get a product to the buyer. That's what the whole thing is set up for. It's in a very strong potential position right now. If Comicsgate started working together, we could even increase sales. But I don't see that happening, unfortunately. And that is something I admit I do not understand. You have all these great indie artists, EVS, Doug, Mike, your boy Art, Mitch, JDA, Antonio. Why not just come together and at least put on a friendly face? This could be a great opportunity to seize market share. People want content, and the mainstream is in deep, deep trouble. Anyway, let's take a look at adults acting like children on the internet. This gift from Not Japan has the SJW Comic Pros extra spicy. But I'm sure everything's going to be fine because, they say it'll be fine. Let's start here. The idiots that bragged about taking over comics are done. Gail, Donny, Mark, Slot, Dan, and Joe, Kelly Sue, and their ilk. Some of them blocked me. Why? Why block me? That's just such a Nasser comic book hut. Bunch of other people too. It's just so childish. You inherited it from your betters. Didn't take care of it, grow it, or promote it. You took it over and destroyed it. That's your legacy. Sit down as I showed you these 4 images. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, they stood on the shoulders of giants and promptly hopped off them. Any pros thinking about coming over to Comicsgate better acknowledge that. I don't want to hear some BS that Wu Flu destroyed comics. That virus that killed comics was SJW's, and you better be able to say that out loud. Comicsgate doesn't have a litmus test, but I do, and that's it. And one thing is, Renfamous screenshotted, I don't know, this thing and is talking about Cecil, and I guess she has him blocked. Don't do that. Don't screenshot people and block them. Just like give them the opportunity to respond. That's just kind of soy. Okay, this guy makes a point. He says, Green Knight, contract through to 2023. Yeah, that contract isn't worth the paper it's printed on. Sorry to break it to you, Kates. And those other 2 tweets pretty much show you why you'll never make as much money as EVS got off his Ribbit coins once the industry collapsed. That's a point. Good point. Johnny Cates says, I have an exclusivity contract with Marvel that puts there currently through the next 3 years. Then I pitch stores, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that only works if they can pay you. You can't bleed a stone. I'm not sure what type of creditor position you would be in a bankruptcy proceeding. Someone else made a good point. They said, if this was a healthy industry, it would survive this. Yes. If a product is in demand, people will find a way to get it. Okay, so you probably already saw this already. This guy is just, an eye roll at something silly. And then this guy, Gary, jumps in there. Nate, wishing you success on your continuing journey outside comics. What a dick. What a dick. You got 6 likes on that, and you're getting ratioed here for rightfully people calling you out for being a just douchebag. Guys, if you ever want to know why I gave up spending money on your products, I present Exhibit A. I have to admit, this doesn't put your lot in a good light either. Yeah, wishing you all this success on Twitter after being told to put your pencils down. That means there's no more money to pay you, so they're going to say, well, it's a temporary cessation of content production. It's going to be for a while. We'll see. Like I said, this is early days, and I don't think this has sunk in for a lot of these people. I don't think they get it. And you know what? If they say digital sales are strong, maybe they will be strong. Maybe things will, I'm sure digital will pick up the slack here. Okay, this image of him, keep this image in mind. This is the shot of the guy who told you to S a bag of D's. The D's that have already reached completion after being sucked. He's got to be 60. He's bald, gray hair. He's an old guy. You shouldn't be telling people to do that unless you're 12 and on like 9gag or something. The other thing about coming over to CG, I don't think they would want to, and I don't see how they could. And coming over CG, well, 90% of CG in terms of market share is EVS. And these people are not going to make nice with EVS, and EVS, more importantly, is not going to make nice with them. So you're talking about the level below that. Like John Malin, I don't see that happening either. Cecil, definitely not. I just don't see it happening. I mean, they're fundamentally opposed. I guess the one thing would be a litmus test would be, well, do you believe in free expression, or do you believe in shutting people down? Stopping people from deplatforming type of thing. And ultimately, it comes down to they don't believe in free expression. Don't mess with people's money. Let them earn a living. So this guy, who apparently is new to the concept of selling a product, says, always enjoy when shitbirds show up in my mentions, then boo-hoo when they lose their civilian status. Green Knight. Pencils down. Comicsgate. I love this guy. Learn manners. Pencils down. Okay, boomer. Let's talk Vampirilla. Is that on Indiegogo? Wait, we can lose our civilian status? Yeah, this is no way to talk to a customer. Maybe don't insult what little customer base that remains in an industry that talented people built and folks like you destroyed. Ouch. Pete N80. Your industry is sliding into irrelevance, and you're essing on the remaining customers. You seem bright. I bet you have I'm old and have mine, and what do I care attitude. The younger people in your business need to socially distance from your type. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. She's got IP money coming in, and that's, every year he's probably getting $200,000 to $300,000. I'm not that familiar with this guy, but he's probably getting a lot of money coming in every year, guaranteed, as long as, the company has the money to pay. But these other people are, like Mags Visaccio is not doing so well. For some reason, I think he deleted this tweet because I couldn't find it. Donny Cates says, going to bed, I have 1 million scripts due this week. Okay. For what? I love you all. As always, face front, true believers, ever onwards, Excelsior. Peter Simeti says, you're not Stan Lee. And Donny Cates deleted that tweet, I believe. I can't find it. Oh, yeah, Cates is just like Stan Lee. F every single one of you. Get effed. Take care of yourself. And go F yourself. F every single one of you. What a sweetheart. All right, so Donny comes back and says, comics is not canceled. Comics will still be made. You will still read comics. Things may change. They always do, always have, and we've always been here. Ever onward, Excelsior. Okay, yes, Comicsgate will still be here. And I suspect Comicsgate is going to do a lot better. Nerdrotic, a lot of comic shops are canceled. This goes on too long. The last person on the planet I listened to on the side with comic book retail sales is a writer-artist from Marvel. Enough said. Brian Urso, lead guitarist for Gideon's Mob. He's got a Comicsgate album he's working on. This is how you get more sales for shops. Donny Cates blocked you. Well, Green Knight, you're giving him crap all night. And he comes back in here. I don't know if here he is. He says he used to be a retail, ran a chain of five stores during a massive recession. Yeah, maybe you could listen to me. And then he does this weird passive aggressive thing. In all of his tweets, hope you and your family are doing well. It's just kind of weird. The family was never brought up, but he brings it up. Other people have noticed he does it too. It's like someone asked, is that a threat? It's not a threat. It's just weird. It's like establishing an intimacy that both parties haven't consented to. Anyway, so he says, comics are doing fine, or comics have gone through everything. Not exactly. I was hearing someone was talking about Diamond, and they said, well, Diamond has been fine through world wars and Vietnam and all these other problems, 911. But this is something different. So something to think about. Let's see what Renfamous has to say on this. Okay, this is kind of a self-own. She says, remember when both Marvel and DC told Van Sciver pencils down? I kind of don't believe that. I'm willing to believe that Sciver left on his own accord. He's a very talented artist. Even if you don't like somebody, to lie about them just shows you that you're petty. I'm Betty and G. Willow Wilson. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Leave your badge? Do comic artists get badges and guns? Ethan says, His Holiness the Dalai Lama said there were many ways to nirvana, but this is the quickest, pure ecstasy. G. Willow Wilson. I can't do the G. Willow voice, but your boy does it perfectly. Just got the first of the dreaded pencils down email. Imagine there will be more. You got that right. It's inevitable after the store closures. Oh, she's the Muslim chick. Pseudo. And Diamond announcement sending level, blah, blah, blah. Okay. EVS is in a much better position now. And all the other people in Comicsgate, even Mike Miller, they're all in better positions because there is a network and a platform set up for these people. Even though they're arguing, Mike and JDA and Ethan and Doug TenNapel and some of the others are arguing, they're still on the platform. They have a fan base established. And these people don't because they're counting on monthly sales. Oh, but our digital. Okay, fine. We'll see. And so this guy says he thinks it's only going to be for a month. We'll see. B. Clay Moore. Is he the guy who did Big Hawaiian Dick? That's 5 years. Well, I guess it's not even 5 years late. It's like you just took the money. A couple of women they hate have temporarily been asked to pause their work while the nation deals with the pandemic. How long do you think the infrastructure is going to stay in place. If comic book stores, they're going to move over to something else. They're going to sell something else, something that can be sold. Remember when his wife, Mark Lombardi, you're a piece of work. You are just a class. That's not funny. You talk about somebody's family, talk about somebody's wife. I mean, you got 22 likes for that. What has he done for you to talk about his family? What a scumbag. Anyway, Jamal Igle, I don't get this cheering. Maybe I'm out of touch. That hairline is out of touch. But it's not like CG somehow toppled the mainstream. Yeah, they did. I think CG is winning. I think CG is winning, Mr. I am the wayward son. I guess he likes Creedence Clearwater. Does he really think this is forever? It might be. Companies take money. Companies just don't sit there. They take money to run. Disney takes money to run. Yeah, I think they're in trouble. Anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to send me stuff, send it to my P.O. box. Make sure you cough on it first. Spread that woo flu. And you can email me if you've got a sci-fi password or sign in so I can watch Vagrant Queen by Mags Visaggio tomorrow. Bianca Zombie 602 gmail.com. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next episode.